We are on the road to WrestleMania 40, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, let's have the 40 years of a WrestleMania watch-along series. As you can see there on your screen, putting up one more time for you. We are starting off with WrestleMania 10, Bret the Hitman Hart versus Owen Hart. Of course, arguably one of the best openers in WrestleMania history. Get your Peacock, get your WWE Network if you're in the future, get your Netflix ready as well. Your timestamp is 10 minutes and 11 seconds that we will be starting at. You can already see the clock, the ticker is going just underneath me as well. We'll be pressing play when it is time to get started, and we will be watching Bret Hart versus Owen Hart from WrestleMania 10. I'm joined by the one and only NX Steve in the house. NX Steve, great to have you here. Thank you for joining me, and I'm excited to watch Bret Hart versus Owen Hart from WrestleMania 10.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. Like I said, like you said, it's one of the best, if not the best, opening matches to a WrestleMania card ever. So, yeah, man, it'd be good to watch it again and just see how it all plays out. And obviously, the history that these two have together as well. And just watching an Owen Hart match is honestly what I'm looking forward to most.
Absolutely. Of course, when you go back to the history of these two, it goes back to Survivor Series. Of course, it was Team Hart versus Shawn Michaels and the Knights. And of course, there was miscommunication with Bret and Owen. That led to Owen being the only person eliminated from the Hart Foundation team. And of course, when you look back at it, of course, Owen Hart then was upset, won the match of WrestleMania with Bret Hart. Bret didn't want to accept. They end up going for the tag team titles at the Royal Rumble after they reconciled, only for Owen to turn on Bret there, building up this match here for WrestleMania. Obviously, we're 20 seconds away from hitting that play button, ladies and gentlemen. And while you're here, make sure to hit that like button, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel as well, and also feel free as well to get involved in the chat. Let us know your thoughts of Bret versus Owen as well. Let us know your memories from this show and from this match in particular. But we are getting ready to start. 3, 2, 1, press play, ladies and gents. We are ready to watch then the match here. I've kicked it off, and we've got the classic hairstyles as well for the ring announcers is great as well to look back at as well. This for me, Bret Hart and Owen Hart. When I look back at it, this is arguably one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time, and arguably as well probably one of the best openers of all time. As we're coming out in Madison Square Garden as well, that short rampway and how it opens up as well, so classic here as well. And we're going to kick things off here with Owen Hart coming through the curtain first. And Nick, Steve.
Dude, what more can you say, man? Look at the guy. He just oozes charisma and he oozes just so much and garnishes so much heel heat. He's such a great character, man. Like, he's just like, he's up there, really, isn't he? With the likes of Eddie Guerrero as just one of them greats that unfortunately tragedy struck at just way too early, man. And it's a shame that we haven't got him round to now today, because just to think what he'd be like now as a person, as a Hall of Famer, do you know what I mean? Just as a character in general. Like, I can imagine the matches he would go on to have with people in the future.
Absolutely, yeah, I can completely agree with that as well. Obviously, just missing out on the likes of the technical wrestling style that came to WWF in the 2000s as well. The likes he could have took on Chris Jericho's, Dean Malenko's, Eddie Guerrero's would have been there waiting for him. Obviously, matches we never got to see, unfortunately. But Owen, truly one of the best technical wrestlers there is around here, and obviously seeing him break up Bret Hart's sunglasses there that he's come to the ring with as well. There, really looking to get that heel heat here nice and early into the garden as now Bret Hart's music plays as well. I mean, great to see the Hitman as well. Hitman, one of my favorites growing up. Was he one of yours?
He was more my brother's. I was a Warrior fanboy from a young age, and it's like this was the biggest shame that is really, is I didn't really appreciate quality technical wrestling until I was a lot older. So I can, like I say, as like a nearly 40-year-old man, I enjoy this a lot more than what I probably did back in the day. Like, for me, it was back in what were we talking here? This is 1995. So like, I'm 10 years old at this point, and I'm like, ooh, bright lights and colors. That's why the Ultimate Warrior was for me, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Just anything with tassels on, really. Apparently, I'm a sucker for. So, but yeah, like I said, just the fact that we can go back, the fact that we have the opportunity to go back and watch these matches now is just such a great thing.
Oh, it's a true blessing, the fact that we get to take the time and watch some of our favorite matches that we had growing up. And like I say, perhaps I can appreciate some of them a lot more now as well. Obviously, Bret Hart doing his trademark here, obviously, with his glasses they had round his head, obviously, going to give it to a young fan there at ringside. And I've got to say, going to see house show in '94. I was desperate for that to be me. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the night. Yeah, I mean, to be fair here, I was a big Bret Hart fan from minute go. I always enjoyed the technical wrestling style. I still was always like taken aback with the likes, like you said, the Warriors, the Stingers, people like that from WWF and WCW. But for me, this was something I was all about. I was like that workhorse style, the technical style, and always watching those Intercontinental champions, and watching, waiting to see them get to the next level. And that's the fun part for this as well, because this is the first of 2 matches for Bret Hart on this WrestleMania card. Of course, he's wrestling here in the open. He goes on to the main event as well to take on the winner of Yokozuna and Lex Luger, which is halfway through the show for the WWF Championship. Of course, spoiler alert, he goes on to take on Yokozuna. If you haven't seen it, sorry. Yeah, at the same time, obviously, Bret and Lex Luger both actually drew in the Royal Rumble as well, which led us to here. And obviously now we have Bret now and Owen kicking things off, and they just had their tie up there, and a bit of a stalemate just to kick things off, Steve.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think story-wise at this point. Like, this is obviously Owen is the spiteful younger brother who's jealous of Bret's success, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So yeah,
Yes.
it's like I said, and I remember, this is the good thing about Owen Hart, is I remember this version of Owen Hart. I remember all this character work that he done and everything that he done outside of the ring. And like, obviously then these two go on to reunite and to form the Hart Foundation, and just what a heel faction they were in general in the Attitude Era. So like, it's just glad to go back and watch all this kind of stuff.
Absolutely, there. Great takedown for Bret Hart. Owen manages to make it to the ropes as well there. Nice and early doors there. And we're good to say hello to a few people in the chat that have joined us already. Temple Plays is here where it says we've got Owen and Bret at WrestleMania 10. We're getting Jimmy versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania 40. Of course, we're on the road to WrestleMania 40. You might have guessed with what's above our heads here with the 40 years of WrestleMania with the watch along series that we're doing. Of course, the Nation in the house as well. We went to SmackDown last week. I got to see The Rock in person. He says it felt like a dream. I'm glad they had an amazing time, CD. It's great to see. And Temple goes on with another comment here saying also we got Kane versus Taker at WrestleMania 20. Feels like every 10 years we get a brother versus brother match. Of course, only WrestleMania 30 is the only one we don't, but we do have WrestleMania 25 with Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy. We've got some pushing going on, and Owen Hart just slaps Bret Hart there in the ring there. Owen cowardly in the corner there as Bret goes towards him. We've got Earl Hebner as the referee for this match as well. Talk about importance. If you want your match to feel important at WrestleMania, Earl Hebner has to be that referee.
Yeah, you knew it was a serious match if Earl Hebner was your referee. Like, even for the part where we know that Hebner used to take a lot of bumps as well, but it always felt important with Earl Hebner, because like, he was back in the day the only really identifiable referee from WWE, so it was kind of like it was a big deal if he was your referee as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic here. See the knee of Bret going in there to sort of like the back of the shoulder area, the arm area of Owen Hart there as well.
Do you know what I was just thinking about when we was talking about obviously watching this back on as we're watching it now on the network and stuff? Do you ever remember you used to going into like HMV and stuff like that, trying to find, like, they used to do the duo DVDs or videos, didn't they? Where they used to have two shows on there and stuff. I could never ever find Invasion from 2001. Like, that was obviously a big one for me growing up, and I could never find it. I can't even remember what it was teamed up with, but the fact that they did, like, you could find them. I remember the grey DVD case that it used to come in and everything.
Yeah, classics when we look back. And of course, when this was first released, this is the VHS era as well there. And yeah, for the young ones watching this today, VHS, how old are you? Older than I probably look. But if you think I look old, I'm probably still older than what I look. Yeah, I mean, Bret here, another takedown here with Owen here at this point, working on that arm nice and early. Great technical start here.
Yeah, the thing is as well is like because like I've said this many times before on watch alongs that we do, the fact that the more that we know about how these guys are brought up now than when we did when this match goes on, like, we know about the Heart Dungeon, and we know about like how they used to like be taught how to wrestle and to give a convincing display and to make it look real and make it look vicious and make it look painful. Like, I would hate to have been a member of the Hart family, to be fair, if you were just going to get bullied constantly by your old man. But do you know what I mean? We end up getting these two great wrestlers out of it at the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think I would have survived the Hart dungeon. I won't lie. There was Owen Hart is clotheslined over the top rope to the floor. The Madison Square Garden has erupted as well. Looks like Owen thinks better of it, thinks he's going to walk to the back now. But Brett's gone to meet him out there and has thrown Owen back into the ring as well there as Brett goes back in. All advantage Bret Hart at this early stage of the match, but I'm pretty sure we know that's not going to last for too much longer.
Yeah, I mean, we're just initially waiting for the moment where this match turns now, where I'm sure Owen will do some sort of dastardly trick to get his heel ways over.
Well, he's obviously pushed away there from the technical wrestling, some shoving going on. Then it was followed by a slap from Brett this time, and that led to a roll up a schoolboy there for us, but a kick out two from Owen Hart. Back to a rest hold here, working on the arm and shoulder once again of Owen is Brett, although Owen is trying to grab the hair of Brett at this point, looking to find any way out by the looks of things.
Just watching it back though, there's little details that you again we don't really see nowadays. Not a lot of hair pulling nowadays. Like I know most people tend to have short hair, but like even then, just watching it, I'm sitting there like it's just little details that you spot that you go, oh, do you know what? They don't actually do that anymore. Like they don't do hair pulling as we watch Brett get a roll up pin on Owen there. But again, straight back to the arm again. Again, this is I can respect this and appreciate more like 30 years later now that the fact that the quality in the technical wrestling. But yeah, sorry, just go back, like I said, the small details that you don't get anymore that you used to get. And then it's like I'm always a big fan of the old test of strength. Like it was always kind of like a one-upsmanship. And the fact that we don't really see it anymore either is just it's a shame, really. Like I just like one time maybe a Daniel Bryan match or something for him to do it just as a, do you know what I mean? Just as a feeling out process. Do you know what I mean? Something to get the crowd hyped up.
Absolutely, to build up there. Spinning heel kick from Owen there has given him the advantage finally in this match. He's putting the boots to Bret Hart as well there. Completely agree, by the way. I've got to say that old hair pulling style as well. I used to love that back in the day. One of my favorite bits as well, you see it so often, is when a wrestler realized that he was facing someone bald. And then he realized that's not going to be working for me as an advantage. What is a comedy spot from the crowd? Always used to work really, really well. But Owen here has got Bret Hart. It looks like going for, is it a scoop stand for the floor? No, he's running him into the ring post. That's a bit painful. Brett wincing on the floor there at this particular moment.
The thing is, as well, you can tell because it's the old style ring. It's literally just 4 turnbuckles and a couple of mats over the sides of it. You can tell it hurts a lot more than the LED screens I get today. And the fact that they tried to sell them, LED screens, like every time someone's thrown into it, someone just turns the lights off and turns it back on again to make it look like it glitches out. I find it more of a comedy spot nowadays.
Straight into the buckle there. Brett went to the way, good selling that, always putting himself back first into the turnbuckle. Always looks more painful when he goes in there.
The fact that, like I said, when you're 10 years old watching this and you're just like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing ever, watching two grown men beat the hell out of each other and they're brothers as well. So like for me, from a personal level, obviously me having an older brother, I very much felt like the Owen Hart in this situation, always getting like one-upped by my older brother, who is the Bret in this scenario.
Absolutely, yeah, I can see. Only child me, so I never had that problem.
It's a blessing and a curse, I think, really.
Yes, it does have its both. It does have its both. But, Bret Hart breaking out here of the rest hold of the sleeper from Owen, but lovely belly to belly there from Owen. And what the technique between those two there with that move there was fantastic. Kick out two from Bret Hart. Headbutt there from Owen.
Do you know what, as well, I've realised that is watching these older videos back, you don't, like, again, it's hard to notice the small details, like, for instance, when they talk to each other. I guess that's why a lot of them, there's a great reversal there from a springboard body slam off the side there into a pinfall. Like I said, because most of them got long hair, you don't see the communications as much and you don't hear it as much, obviously, as what you would get nowadays. Like, we can see a lot of things nowadays, but back here, you don't see nothing. Whether they're going off of intuition or they're actually talking to each other, it's really hard to tell from this match.
So true. So true. Chin lock here from Owen onto Brett. So a lot of submission moves here, but the thing is, though, that everything sort of connects well into the match as well. Owen going for a scoop slam, but Brett manages to counter that into a pinfall there, but kick out on Brett now goes to the floor. Owen's taunting there, celebrating with the crowd.
What year did they take out over the top rope automatically disqualified? It was 91, I think it was. I think we're about 4 years past that.
Probably something like WCW kept it going for a long time on and off, and it was a very detriment to their product at times. But beautiful German suplex from Owen there. Fantastic kick out from two from Brett once again there.
I can see where Chad Gable gets his German suplex technique from there. Great leg drop to the back of the head there as well.
2 count once again there.
The thing is, I think this is detrimental as well because it's the fact that I obviously can't hear the audio at the minute either, so I can't. It's hard to gauge the crowd's reaction as well because, like, I want to know, like, if they're as invested in this as what I am now, 30 years later. Like, I imagine there's probably some people that are invested in it, but like I said, just for the fact, obviously, we're doing this live on YouTube, we can't really play it out loud and we can't stream it and show people it. It's hard to judge.
Absolutely, yeah. Wish we could have it on the screen with us, but hey, it's unfortunate we can't do it. But it looks like Owen here. Was this going to be a tombstone of some description? Yes, it is. Tombstone pile driver from Owen here at this point.
Oh, yeah. Owen Hart and his pile drivers have a history, unfortunately, so I'm a bit wincy every time I see one.
Yeah.
Oh, no one home for Owen Hart there as he does a diving headbutt off the top rope. Who's on commentary? Vince and who?
Vince and Jerry Lawler, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't know because I've got the Spanish version on apparently. Do you know what? I really do hate the network. For some reason, every time I put an old pay-per-view on, it automatically goes to the Spanish commentary.
Uno, dos. There's a kick out.
Great goes on there. Yeah, now I can hear Vince. There's the Spanish. I said, like, Vince, what can I say? Great shot to the midsection. Russian leg sweep. Another pinfall.
Temple's got a suggestion for another brother versus brother match at WrestleMania 50. Tama versus Tangaloa. Of course, Tama Tonga expected to sign with WWE imminently. But nice backbreaker there from Bret Hart on Owen there once again.
I think the age on Tama Tonga and Tangaloa there in 10 years' time will be something.
Yeah, to be fair,
great
they will be.
From the middle rope. I think you're probably better off having the Creed brothers go against each other at WrestleMania 50.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad shout there. CD got a bit of fantasy booking here. If only Seth Rollins versus Owen Hart. If you put them time periods to align, that would have been a beautiful match to watch.
Oh, lovely, great! Enziguri kick there. Yeah, I mean, dude, you could just have an unlimited list of people to wrestle with Owen. Daniel Bryan for one. Cesaro, do you know what I mean? There's just even like I said, all these even not big names, but just great technical wrestlers that could put on. Imagine Samoa Joe versus Owen Hart.
Amazing, yeah. AJ Styles, CM Punk. I mean, the list would go on and on. You just feel that if Owen had been around that time period, obviously some mega matches that could have happened there. But another near fall once again there, and Owen's now on the outside. Bret here doing a dive over the top rope to the floor. You wouldn't see this a lot in '94. This is that's the equivalent of a ricochet. Looks like he's hurt his knee though.
It was always Bret's thing there, selling the knee. Every time, he was selling an injury, it was always the knee for Bret Hart.
Beautiful thing is it plays for that storyline narrative throughout the night as well. Obviously, having to have a second match, if you hurt yourself a little bit in the first match, it's just something they should do. Obviously, if we're talking for this year, Cody Rhodes definitely should do that with the story there with Roman for night 1 and night 2. Pick up a little knock on night 1, sell it in for the story for night 2. It doesn't have to be just one story that needs to be finished.
I think that's the idea they're going to go with Seth. Really, I think that's more the Seth's idea, just as a selling point for him to lose on night 2. Early prediction giveaway there.
Oh, I like it. Early prediction given away there. But Owen's really taking advantage there of that leg and that knee now. He's zoned in on it, let's just say. Oh, very good.
That's a very unique leg split.
Going for the ring post now as well.
So the interesting point I'm going to have now as we get towards the end of this match is how much Bret's going to be selling that knee as well.
Absolutely.
3 shots of the knee around the ring post. Is Owen using the sharpshooter as well? I presume he is.
He is, yes. He is. Taunting Bret there. Of course, pulling in that leg once again. Dragon screw there into the middle of the ring. Oh, lovely. Is this a variation of Indian deck flock here, I think?
Possibly, or a figure four, or Texas cloverleaf. It's just some sort of inverted version.
Mm.
But the fact, like I said, the fact that he just did a leg drop to his knee there, the sell is just so much better than what we get nowadays. Like, I know obviously it's a simpler time and they have to sell simpler moves compared to what most wrestlers can do in a ring, but like I said, just going back and watching it, and the fact that we're wincing at a leg drop to the knee is just such an awesome thing to watch.
Don't accuse me of being the Disco Inferno here, but would you prefer in a way that wrestlers made more of a deal of more basic moves, therefore they wouldn't have to put their bodies so much on the line every night?
I think the fact that we're a lot smarter to it, I think I'm okay with it. I think if it was still a is it real, is it fake kind of thing, I think if it was a case of we didn't know as much as we knew behind the scenes, I think I'd want them to. But the fact that I think most people are most close as he's got a version of the figure four here.
He has indeed, yeah. Will Bret submit? That's the big question coming out at this moment here. But I asked that question because I feel Gunter a lot of the time has more of a simplified move set a lot of the time, yet everything always looks so vindictive coming from him. It's sold so well a lot of the time, and it just makes me think that obviously if everyone did it, it wouldn't be so unique. But for someone like a Gunter, he stands out because of that.
Yeah, that's the key word there, is unique. That's what makes Gunter just like an absolute unit and makes him, that's why he's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. As we see here, the biggest load of rubbish in the world, where if you turn over, you reverse the figure four leg locks and the pressure. I always loved it when the fact they would sell it. Like I said, as a 10-year-old kid, when you go, oh my God, Bret's reversed it. And it's like, actually, Bret's still in pain here and Owen's the one that's okay. It's so funny to watch.
Absolutely. Bret's leg's just been wrapped around the turnbuckle, around the rope there, and it's been kicking there once again from Owen.
He's going to go
Bret's
for
having
another
a hop
Dragon's
quite a
Breath.
lot here, but he's got for Instagram of his own there.
Yeah, see, I can hear the crowd now. The crowd are proper getting into this now.
They are indeed, yeah. And I feel like we're getting to that final third stage as well of the match now. Obviously, now Bret really sending the leg. We know that there's been targets on the arm and the shoulder there of Owen as well. Nice headbutt there, Owen down there. Just everything's so crisp, so clean. Obviously, we've done their SummerSlam Steel Cage match for those that are interested in seeing that as well. We did that last summer. Fantastic there. Owen sending the buckle there, going actually stomach first into it, chest first, heading back down. Count 1, 2, kick out from Owen there.
Again, that's what I appreciate about that, is the logic is that, let's be honest, if someone Irish whips you, you've got no reason to carry on running. But the fact that Owen runs face first into the corner is such a great spot.
Oh, I love that bulldog.
Great bulldog there,
love that bulldog.
Uses his head to turn Owen over, goes for the pin. A kick
just
out.
Kicks out as well. Feels like a desperation kick out as well there.
The fact that it was just his shoulder and not his arm is the key point in that as well. Like, you can see that the fatigue is setting in. And
what a pile driver. Beautiful pile driver there.
The thing is, we don't see it that often anymore now. So just to see like 2 in 1 match is just a shocker.
Gives you a nice little pop, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
I always something about Madison Square Garden, especially the old school there, the short ramp there, you just sit in the background. It's just it's something for me. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I like, because it always felt unique, the fact that you could see the entrance ramp and the ring at the same time. So, hang on, here we go. Bret's going to go for a suplex off the top rope.
It's going to be so beautiful as well. You can just fit it with these two here. Lovely. Amazing.
Great.
The landing as well for both of them. Pitch perfect.
This is the 30-second count where take it in, let the crowd react.
Oh, kick out.
Great kick out. Yeah, like I said, back to Madison Square Garden. Like, I remember watching Rumble from 2000. The fact that every time that an entrant come out, they would be in the back of the shot, and I just love Madison Square Garden. It's a shame they don't use it that way anymore. No,
they don't, which is a shame, obviously. But like you say, those style of shows, even like Royal Rumble 2008, I think it's a similar vibe. Some of those are some of my favorite shows, just purely because of the staging and how everything's presented. Yeah. It just there's a special aura about it. And look at that lovely uppercut there from Bret there at this point. Owen's a bit wobbly as well. Swing, miss. Bret goes for the sleeper. Oh, low blow.
There we go. There we go. There's that heel technique. El Hebner being in the perfect position to miss the low blow. Great.
Certainly hit him like a rocket for sure. Now going for that sharp shooter. He's got it
Trying to
in.
make him tap out with his own move.
Can hear Jerry screaming. He's got it in. Of course, Jerry very happy with the idea that Bret Hart could lose this match if they've been feuding the whole way from 1993. A feud that goes until 95 as well.
You'd know more than me. That my brain is a complete fart when it comes to remembering dates and statistics and stuff like that. Like, I'm just like I can remember great matches. I just can't remember when it happened.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily seen as a great match, but of course, Bret and Jerry, their feud ended in 95 on a Kiss My Foot match. So the loser
yeah.
of their
But
opponents.
I apologize. I didn't mean to reference the Kiss My Foot thing as a great match. I just meant that I remember like either great matches or stupid moments like that for some reason. Irish whip reversal.
Love it. Bret here, look at
What was
this
he
on
going
the
for
shoulders
here?
of Owen. Could be going for the finish here. Look at
Roll-up?
this. Owen captures him 1, 2, and 3. He does. He gets the win.
What a great result. Let's be honest. Bret going for an out of the box move, trying to do a Hurricanrana roll up on Owen Hart from the middle rope. Just stupid, man. Like, just so out of field for Bret Hart. It's great. It's a great booking moment for the pure fact that Bret has tried something new. It's not worked, and he's lost.
Absolutely. Maybe it could have been a victory roll, but certainly ended up being the victory roll for Owen Hart there, picking up the W there in WrestleMania 10 and Open, which many do claim to be the greatest opening match in WrestleMania history, perhaps even of all time. I think there are certainly some other candidates that could be within a shout. I know WrestleMania 34 certainly has one of a blinding opener with Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and The Miz. Yeah, it would be one match that we will be looking to do during this series. Should we reveal some of the matches we're looking to do during this series?
By all means, mate, go ahead.
So we will be looking to do Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage from WrestleMania 3. That will be coming up very, very soon. We will be doing Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair from last year's WrestleMania 39. We will be looking to do End of an Era, Undertaker versus Triple H, of course, in Hell in a Cell. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, the 15-year anniversary from what some say is the greatest match of all time at WrestleMania 25. And yes, on WrestleMania week, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. We're going to rewind it 1 year back and see should Cody have finished that story last year. We're going to go back and
see where Cody went wrong.
Absolutely. Let's see if Cody can make some changes for this upcoming year. But just to go into a couple of comments, then we will wrap things up on this video today. Owen Hart beating Bret, put some doubt in Bret Hart winning the WWF Championship later in the night. It certainly did that indeed. And obviously at this point, you would have thought that Bret wouldn't stand a chance against Yokozuna. Of course, Yoko being about 600 pounds as well. But Bret does overcome the odds and does get the job done, which is fun to see. And we've had a suggestion which could be possibly the worst suggestion of a match ever. Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole in a Kiss My Foot match. That's probably the only stipulation missing from WrestleMania 27. But thankfully, we're not doing the worst matches in WrestleMania history on this series. CD does go on to say that Damien Priest cashing Cody Rhodes would give Priest a lot of heel heat. I think it would on Rollins as well.
Want to riot.
Exactly. And Damien winning the title would kill the big moment of Reigns losing the historical moment. And I have to agree with that. He should attack Drew or Seth, and I agree with that opinion. CD says he was joking about that. And of course, CD, we know that indeed. But seriously, it would be the worst match in history. Is there anything you'd like to add, NXT, before we wrap things up for episode 1 of 40 Years of WrestleMania Watch-Along series?
No, dude, just say an absolute classic match. Everyone should go and watch it. It's just a great, absolute banger of an opening match. Like I said, like you said, sorry, a debatable best ever match. Like there's only like probably a handful of matches that you can probably argue that do it, but definitely worth a go back and watch. Just an absolute great work. And it's like I said, for the rest of the card, it's probably the best match on the card, to be fair. Like I'm trying to think what else is on this off the top of my head. I mean, you got Razor Shawn in the ladder match, which is obviously defines the ladder match and the reason why it's so popular today. And then obviously Bret goes on to the main event and wins. But apart from that, like I said, it's one of the reasons to watch WrestleMania 10 alone.
Absolutely. It's a great WrestleMania, actually. We look back over it with the excitement, the thrill, the ride that goes through that show is really, really good. And obviously, Bret and Owen is a fantastic opener. We will be doing that Razor versus Shaw match as well in this series as well. So keep an eye out for that, because obviously today is the 30th anniversary since WrestleMania 10. So it's kind of nice that we have this match, particularly on this stream. Thank you, CD, for the kind words. It's been great to have everyone involved in the chat. If you've all enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Big thank you to NXT as always for being a part on this. And of course, join tomorrow myself and Charlie from Hanma's Chat. We'll be doing a live Q&A. Take care. We'll see you next time.